Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. Modern day masculine man, take one.
Ooh, what makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills, and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo! Yo, what's the dilly dally? Welcome to another episode of Tough Talk Tuesdays, where it's me and my guy, Trav P, have the tough conversations that most people don't want to have, but we have them because they need to be had. Before we get started, I want to start off by saying, Spirit House Sage, y'all know what time it is. I ain't got to say no more because they've been blocking me for saying it's medical advice by saying that it's antimicrobial. Look, I said it again. That's the last time y'all gonna hear me say it's antimicrobial. But listen, before we get going, can somebody give me a yay on the sound? Do we got a yay? Is we good on the sound? I always check that before we get going. Somebody could be like, we ain't got sound. You know, it's a delay in this thing. But other than that, Trav, it's Tuesday, man. You know how we do it week by week. How's your Tuesday going, man? What's up with you?
Man, this Tuesday been powerful, man. I done had some good meetings with some good people today on different levels. Just came back from a meeting with some Muslim brothers. That was my first time really experiencing that in a sense. So, man, we all we got, we all we need. Collaboration over competition. Man, I'm standing in that today, brother.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Something happened to me today that ain't happened to me in years, man. I guess I was so happy just thinking as I was cooking, and I cut my damn finger, man, and I cut it across the nail. And when I cut it, the blood would start shooting out of it, and some just said, wrap it up and keep going. So I wrapped it up real tight, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to go back to cutting, and that motherfucker started hurting. And when I tell you it started hurting, it started hurting. So I went and did like I normally do because I know it relieves pain. I went and got my sage. And boy, I had a damn time rolling that motherfucker up with that hurt thumb. Because you got to have that thumb. You got to have that thumb to roll that joint like you need to. And man, but yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. And I got a wonderful topic tonight, a wonderful discussion. So I'm going to jump right on in it because, you know, I don't want to be on too long. I know we're going to get into it. Today, man, we talking about the crew love, man. Crew love, the boys, the homies, the friends. And what made me think about this, man, I got to thinking, I was talking to a young man, and I swear to God, I think the phones listen to us and then say, well, shit, since you was talking about it, I'm going to give you some shit to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was talking to a young man that I work with, and he been down, and, you know, he's going through a phase where he's the kind of guy in his crew that's the last one that's kind of coming out of the streets or getting itself together. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
And basically, long story short, him and his friends went to Atlantic City, and one of the boys won $60,000. And just a look background, he was like, his homeboy had needed the money. He explained it. I pried that out of him because at first he was just saying he hit for 60 bands and basically paid for the Airbnb and bought us a steak. I said, well, damn, he bought you a steak and paid for the Airbnb? He like, yeah. I was like, well, didn't you have to go in on the Airbnb? He was like, yeah, we got our money back. I said, well, damn, he looked out, fam. You know what I'm saying? That, no, man, he hit 60 bands, man. I said, well, some of that was taxes. He was like, well, he really got like 42 or some shit like that. I was like, yeah. I was like, so why you feel like he should give you more than that? And he was like, well, we got it out of the mud and we grew up and we got it out the mud and we ate noodles and we ate beans on the can and we struggled together. And, you know, I was like, bro, how old are you?
Yeah, man.
35. And I said, man, let me tell you something, bro. Don't nobody owe a grown man nothing. If somebody help you out or look out for you, and he just was like, no, you don't understand our relationship. We the boys. We came up out the mud and kept explaining it. And the more he explained it, the more I just heard. And I just asked him, I said, man, was y'all niggas on some old street nigga shit? You know, he was like, yeah, we got it out the mud. I said, look, man, let me tell you something, bro. I said, that narrative of black men owing each other something because they came up poor together is so played, and it's so dumb to hold a man to your childhood. We grew up together, you know what I'm saying? And so, Trav, I'm putting it up. I began to think, am I not a good friend? Because I don't have no crew. Where my crew at? Where's my crew? And then I got to thinking, I've always been a leader, meaning wherever I went, friends came to me, meaning kind of, you was gonna have to get on my plan to be my friend. I won't get on nobody's plan to be their friend. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't play football, if you wasn't into girls, if it wasn't certain things you didn't do, I wasn't getting on your plan. So I realized most of my friends did the things that I did because I just won't gonna risk no shit for no friendship. Long story short, I ascertained from the brother from 18 to now, with you 35, which I figured it would end about 30, 31, 32. But I said from 18 to 35, you've just had a hard time surviving by yourself. And you've gotten up and it's been the crew love. The crew has helped y'all made it. Y'all done roommated together, ain't you? Yeah, we was roommates. Sometimes we was staying over my mama house in her basement, all of us. And I'm just like, bruh, the time that you're supposed to be building and developing your young manhood, when you spend it with a crew, you delay yourself. That's why you're 35 and you're upset because your man hit the lottery and he didn't just give you some. So let's get into that before we start. And then I'm going to go into something else the algorithm gave me. So do you think the man's homeboy should have gave him some money or not? What you think?
I think according to the story, he made a gesture. Like you said, he bought him something to eat and he took the bill of the room. I will say this: expectations is the seed of disappointment. A person's expectation is a mirror of their maturity, their development. If I reach a certain level of maturity as a man, then I give less people the power to disappoint me because as a man, I know what it takes for me to stand, and my discipline puts me in that position. So if you hit 60,000 and you say, bro, whatever it is, I'm appreciative because I ain't expecting nothing from another man because I already know and understand that initially that goes to your real crew. That goes to your family. And if we dealing with each other on any level, like you say, we have a sense of unity and common sense of what we doing. So, but I want to get on the word crew. I mean, what is a crew? It's a group of people that's working together to a common goal. So when you think about level of maturity, if it was some street type shit and that was their crew, what was y'all working together for? It was to sell dope. It was to take over. It was to make money. It was to do all that. So if that was your crew and that's what y'all was working towards, I understand that. Well, I got a crew that I deal with, whether it's at work. We work towards getting the product built, keeping it together, being in unison. That's my crew. So we get the words way out of context to where we don't understand. You understand? Like my crew is my family. That's who I work together with every day, my wife and my children, to maintain and sustain peace, balance, and love in this world as four black people that depend on each other every day in this house. That's my crew. That's who I work with together. So when a man understands that, Javon, like I say, I got a work crew. That's a group of people I work with. So I ain't going to say having a crew is wrong. I say it's a reflection of your maturity. What y'all working together for? And if it's some bullshit, then I understand why you mad and expecting some bullshit from another man.
Yeah, you said your expectations are a mirror of your maturity. It's like I expect a man, and I said, "Do your homeboy got kids?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, bro, he might have some shit going on with his kids. He can have back child support." I'm making up all these damn excuses why this guy didn't have to give him no money and everything. It was just like, yeah, he could have gave us some though, put a little cash in our pocket. And I was just like, bro, y'all have had a level, like you said, a level of immaturity growing up, getting up, hey, what we doing today? I can recall, Trav, I'm not immune or some nigga that ain't been through what the average young black man been through. I had a couple of guys hit me in the inbox like, yo, man, you just be judging and da-da-da. I said, look, man, when I first graduated from college, 21, 22 years old, my homeboy Alex, his house was like the get up house. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't had shit going for himself. You know what I'm saying? At the time, he sold weed. So he was the weed man. He had a big screen TV. So we went over there to play Madden. So if you get up in the morning and you ain't got to go to work or you ain't got nothing to do, I'm going straight to his house. You know what I'm saying? I'm waking him up. This nigga get up, brush his teeth, and roll up. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting the game up while he coming out, getting out the shower. So I understand how it is to have a meetup space, having a crew. Niggas act like when I said that, I don't know what having a crew means. You know what I'm saying? We get up, we go over his house, smoke, play the game, get something to eat until we get tired and want to go back home to our girl or go chill with a chick. And he had no problem with his house being this central meeting space because for so long we used to call him quarterback. It made him feel like a leader. Like if we gonna grill out that weekend or if we going on a little trip, fellas trip, meet up over my house, man. He got the itinerary. He loved that. And then when he began to mature, he began to complain to me, as I've always been a leader amongst us. Hey, man, I'm sick of niggas getting up thinking my house is the goddamn spot, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, you got a good job now. You're dating a nice young lady now.
See what I'm saying?
Now you're not bored. Now you don't want your house to be the spot where at first you tried to make your house the spot. And so I explained to him, and, some of us as friends were a little upset that his house won't the hangout spot. But we was just like, shit, hey, goddamn Hawk House ain't the spot no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, man, this nigga changing. He switching up, blah, blah, blah. His house just ain't the meetup spot no more.
Yeah.
So I understand how it is to have a crew. Let me ask you something. You seem to have it's something I admire about you. Like you said, the way you explain your life, you bought a house at 26. That's very rare for you. 21. God damn, nigga. Let me give you a clap on that. Yeah. That nigga correcting me fast as shit. Yeah, you bought a house at 21. So obviously at 21, you had a level of focus or discipline that most 21-year-old men don't have. When you were 21, did you have a crew?
I can answer the question now. And like what I say, this conversation real. So the other week, me and my wife was watching an award show. I forgot which one it was, but somebody went up and they was like, I want to thank my team, without my team, such and such, such and such. And I asked my wife, that shit was real. I said, baby, do I got a team? I say, damn, who would I really say if Hero Training and Hood So Blue and I stand there on that stage, I say, baby, do I really got a team? And she threw off some names. Wood, Bam, Black, Kamaran, Farouk. She named all the brothers that she hear me talking to in a cycle, in a cipher, that we all depend on each other as just friends for encouragement, somebody to talk to. And I realized it to say, yeah, I do. I do got a team. And I think all that team, they may not even realize how much we are part of a team, but we all we got, we all we need. Sometimes, man, I can be in a low spot. And it's like, my brother don't know I need him at the moment, but he called and want to argue and bring me out of the spot. And we be arguing about any goddamn thing. And I realized, hey, look, that's my trainer. That's my brother. So I say this to say, even in that, man, I don't expect nothing but a good conversation, motivation, and inspiration. But that's why we all heroes, because we know we all fighting the same fight, and it's a good fight. So yeah, I do got a crew. Yeah.
Ironically, right after I have this conversation, I make a video on IG and it started to get a little buzz, and then it come up on my timeline. Beanie Siegel sitting there looking sad, and he was saying that he was in court and the judge asked Jay-Z, yo, if I let Beans go right now into your custody, would you be responsible for him? And he said, Jay-Z was like, no. And he was like, the judge was shocked. The judge was like, speak up. And he was like, no. And Beans, you could see it even to this day, you know, he liked to cry telling the story. He was like, he almost cried. He was like, because that was my brother. And I loved him and I looked up to him and I would do anything for him. And he was saying that basically the analogy that they had gave him was if somebody would have asked him, Beans, would you do 100 backflips for Jay? And he was like, even if he couldn't do a cartwheel, he'd have been like, fuck yeah, I can do 300. And so I posed a question on my page today. And I'm going to just tell you how I feel. I agree with Jay-Z. What you think? You agree with Jay-Z or Beans?
Like you say, who matters and what matters? Who matters and what matters to them? That's the scale of life. And I'm going to give you a real life conversation. I was cultivated in a way by an older cousin. I say cultivated. He taught me how to shine and practically put me in the light to see how it worked. So he was near and dear to me, but he had a whole different understanding and way of life than me. But we met at the same place. He had an old school Chevy. I had an old school Chevy, right? So one time I was, like I said, I bought my house, and I always knew in my mind, I ain't never want no roommate. My daddy told me, I ain't gonna tell you when you leave, but just know when you leave, you ain't coming back. So a young man asked me, say, Mr. Trav, what's your biggest flex? I say, my biggest flex is I ain't never paid rent. I jumped off the porch owning my shit, right? So I stood in that proudly. But I watched my cousin who was in this lifestyle, who never really had accountability for anything because he never put nothing in his name. My name is all I got. So he called me one time. He said, hey, man, I'm in a situation. I say, nah, bro, I can't do that, man. And at this time, my woman was coming, spending a lot of time with me. I say, nah. So years later, come out, he felt some type of way for a long time. Man, I needed somewhere to go. And you ain't put up. I say, motherfucker, let me tell you something. It's my big cousin. Motherfucker, I can't miss a day of work about my responsibility. I ain't gonna fall. You don't think I done watched you long enough go live somewhere with no responsibility, no accountability, nothing tying you to something, and I watch you make choices where you make motherfucker shit hot, and then you leave because you ain't tied to it and you don't give a fuck. You a fool to think I'll let you do to me what I watch you do to others.
Now, did you say that? I mean,
I said that to him.
Yeah, okay.
He listening, he know I ain't lying.
Yeah, okay.
I ain't gonna never let a motherfucker destroy mine when I know he ain't got the sense to keep his. My daddy raised me on a principle. He said, don't ask me for shit. Because if you can't stop what you doing to put dirt back in your hole to come up, I ain't gonna stop doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn.
It's like a motherfucker making their emergency your emergency, and they don't really have emergency. They just dealing with the effects of poor planning and bad decision making.
So, and I say this not to sound harsh, because he understood. He understood. I ain't the type that I have another man where I go to work, come up my dome, my home, take off his pants for now another motherfucking reason.
Yeah.
That's just a principle that I lived on. So in the very same way, my crew understand that. And if me and him ain't tight no more, I can say this right here. That was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. 20 years later, 2025.
You know, I found out early on the one that has the least to offer is always the most loyal. I'm going to say it again. In a friendship, the one who has the least to offer is always the most loyal. The one that ain't got shit is always the one saying what he would do. The one ain't got shit is always saying where they wouldn't go and how they would be down. You know, I let one of my friends live with me after college. You know what I'm saying? And I had to put him out because my pride just couldn't come home from work and he playing video games in my house with company. I just couldn't. I just, in my mind, you know, the way I looked at it is when you in somebody's house not paying no bills, you stay out the way. At least goddamn vacuum or clean up the kitchen or something from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I actually am a 22-year-old man coming home from work. My friend, one of my best friends, is sitting in my house with two of the boys playing the game, smoking in my house, chilling. And he like, bruh, why do it matter if somebody in here? You're trying to control me. You know what I'm saying? And I see a comment one of the brothers made, and I wanted to address those two comments. Dante Searle said, Bean wasn't a liability. He did that to show him he had more power over him. That's how my homeboy was looking at me. He was looking at me like, nigga, I'm staying with you right now, and you exerting your power over me, basically saying you don't want nobody in your house when you're not here, and the people that's here, you know. I'm like, yeah, I know him, but I don't want my house to be the fucking chill spot. That's just the bottom line, how I looked at it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying I was exerting power over him. And I'm saying is, no, you're trying to exert power over me by telling me you want my house to be a fucking hangout spot so you can have somebody to play Madden with during the day. You see what I'm saying? And so not only when I put him out, I actually ended up finding him a spot. Like real talk, like I was telling him he was gonna have to go. I knew how irresponsible he was at the time. So one of my homeboys was moving out of his place and he hit me like, do I know anybody that can sub at his spot? So I put him on, actually set him up there. And then he actually is the one that became the weed man, and his spot was the chill spot. So I could see how he didn't mind. I can understand as I got older and as he left, because his house became the chill house and he had no fucking problem with it for years. He just had a problem that I didn't want my house to chill spot. I just didn't want my house to chill spot because I know how the boys do. We do little silly shit like put the blunt out on the table when we at somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? little dumb shit, you know, shit that you ain't thinking about. It ain't your shit. You know what I'm saying? Bust a blunt and don't and put it in the ashtray and that shit get all over the floor. You know what I'm saying? Just not caring about your spot. So but as far as Jay-Z and Beans go, man, I'm looking at it like the one that's got more, like Jay-Z had more to lose at the time. Beans didn't have as much to lose as Jay-Z at the time. And if I remember correctly, Beans got in some shit right after that and went to jail any goddamn way.
See what I'm saying, man? Hey, let me say this, man. It's real life shit. And you can apply this principle to any aspect of crew, people that you can consider that's working with you for something. I use loyalty to say there's nothing in nobody that sees a man more in his vulnerable state than his woman. I mean, you'd be surprised how many men don't know how to wipe their ass right when they shit. And this woman know this motherfucker walk around with shit stains and he think he the shit. But she know, don't nobody know, this motherfucker got shit stains in his drawers. I'm using that as a drastic example.
Yeah, I get it.
But she know that. She know he weak. She know where he weak. She know when he weak. When a man share that with a woman and can walk out that door with no remorse or honor, and you watching that, everybody watching that, and he don't care who see that, and everybody know that it's something tied to him, that if he insane in his right mind, the pain of what's in that house will destroy him, but he don't value that. When we see that in a motherfucker, and then that same man come to you and tell you, I want to put a piece of I want to put a piece of your responsibility at jeopardy for my actions. If you ain't real enough to know who matter and what matter in that decision with no hesitation to say no, then you in a crew. You ain't no leader. You a gopher. You a go for any goddamn thing, like my granddaddy and my daddy say. You ain't gonna be no goddamn gopher. You will go for any goddamn thing if you would even reason in the logic from a man who got a woman and children to put his responsibility at bound, expecting a motherfucker to do right when he ain't done right. That's why he in the situation he in, because he can't do right, he won't do right, and he ain't had a real enough reason to do right. You a fucking fool to expect a man to jeopardize that what's real for you.
Yeah, I think sometimes our friends don't realize when we make decisions, we're making them based on like, nigga, I know you.
And fuck Jay-Z, nigga. I'm talking about me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, nigga, I know you. Nigga, I see you cheat on your old lady, and I be like, hey, man, goddamn, we out such and such. And you be like, well, grow up. I be like, hey, I'm different than you. You know what I'm saying? I always was the type of nigga when I was in college and as a young man would be honest with women. So I'm like, bro, we out here such and such. Man, her cousin here, man. Her cousin here. Like she's gonna tell on you. Man, I'm gonna say this, my homegirl. I'm like, brother, the way you can fuck around on your old lady with no remorse. You know, I feel like if you're doing it, man, have some type of coof about yourself. So I've had friends that I didn't do certain shit with because of that. Like, man, shit, nigga, I can't fuck with you. You goddamn and fucked your old lady's taxes up. You think I'm finna go in on something with you, nigga? I remember when you fucked your lady's taxes up a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So my point is, don't make the idea of having a crew a good thing or a bad thing. What's real is when you and your crew come together, what the hell y'all working to do?
That's the thing. Now, that's what I want to move forward into. This whole idea of crew, friends, homies, this is a hip hop concept. You know, when I say hip hop concept, we always ran in packs. You know what I'm saying? You know, my neighborhood versus your neighborhood, playing football, playing throw 'em up, playing wrestling. We wrestling best out of five. So black man has always had crews. but it got to the point where a crew used to be about similar interests. Now a crew has become, in this pop culture, hip hop culture, about getting money. Let's get some. Let's get some money. How much we can get? How much can we ascertain? Let's get to the bag. So what you have is a new generation of black men who are being taught and something totally different pointed out to them that was pointed out to us. For example, like you said, your father and your grandfather, you ain't gonna be no damn gopher. When I was coming up, they would always say shit like birds of a feather flock together. You can't get no higher than your friends. It was always mentioned and bought out that your fucking friends will get you in some trouble. Your fucking friends, your crew, you know what I'm saying? Sleep with dogs, you get fleas. But now it's so, everything is my crew, my niggas, my fellas, my niggas over bitches, and we don't do this. I spend my money on my niggas. We go to the club and throw money on hoes. I do anything for I fuck with these bitches. It's like crew. And even my sons that I raised, you know what I'm saying? I talk to them all the time about who they hang with and crew. And it's like you get this, it's like this, how can I say it? Amongst their generation, I see their friends, there's this feeling that we should all live together until we do this. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when I was younger, everybody kind of wanted their own shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that young men can't be roommates starting off, but you know what I mean as far as just like, okay, I don't want to pay for shit on my own, and so we're gonna crew up. And what it does, it leads to a lack of growth amongst each person, because we know when you had to pay them bills and you get your check and that motherfucker goes straight to negative and you owe $40 because you're paying your rent late on the 5th. That's what makes you responsible. You didn't have to go through that. You went straight to paying mortgage. But the point I'm making is you understand what being on your own does to you and your decision-making skills, as opposed to shit. My homeboy might condemn come home with some noodles. Like I said, I was a part of a group of niggas my junior and senior year. 3 of us had a nice little spot together. And I would make decisions like, okay, I didn't put my money in on the rent. All right, I got this much left. I'm gonna buy some weed. And I ain't even think about what I'm gonna eat, because I'm like, somebody gonna come in this bitch with something to eat. Like I literally made that decision. So I know how having a crew and being around each other, thinking somebody got your back, can lead to your stunting your growth. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even going back to you brought up the house type thing. And like when I say that, and I'm gonna simplify it, and it's still simple today. And I even want to say this right now, we got a narrative going around about the economic times where, man, time's gonna be so hard that if you don't make 100,000, you can't buy a house, man. It's gonna be impossible. So we got a whole lot of narratives that discourage the light in people's mind. But this ain't what your crew got to be doing. You can't, your crew got to be above this. So I'm saying, just like then at 21, I'm 46, but at 21, all I know is I had been working a job for 2 years. All I know was I want to move out. I want to be in the best position. I met a lady that told me, why don't you buy a house, Trav? I ain't had no idea that I was in position. She walked me through the steps. She said, you got a bank account? I said, yes, ma'am. I had a bank account since I was 15. She said, what? How much you got in the bank? I showed him a bank statement. She said, how long that been in there? I say, it's been in there a long time. My daddy make me save money. So she said, well, you just need $500. I said, okay. So her and her husband picked me up. I paid $500 and they rolled me around, and I'm still looking like, okay. And I found a house that I like, and just simple as that. So it wasn't no magical nigga shit. It was just a young man who was fortunate enough to meet somebody to help him understand his position. So what did I do? I spreaded the message to my crew. How long you been on your job? 5 years. You got $500 in the bank? 6 months. Hell yeah. Man, you don't owe nobody nothing. So all my crew start buying houses. They like, damn, I ain't know we can buy a house like this. Hell yeah. Tell somebody, tell somebody, tell somebody. So now we got a crew that's looking like, but it's the information. It's coming together to work to build stability for one another. And once we build that foundation, the same crew, boy, what you do? Man, you better get your goddamn mind right. I ain't got shit for you. That's what the crew do. So I say it's about working together, coming together. The point is, what are you coming together to do? If you and your crew going to Vegas, what the fuck you going to do? What you working together for? To go do what? Relax? I don't never want to relax in this here world without my woman. Fuck I'm finna do. So what about you? You feel what I'm saying, man? And we gotta stop playing this. We gotta stop playing this game with real life shit, dog.
Hey, look, Trav. Trav said you ain't going on no fellas trips. You know what I'm saying?
Do what? What we going? What me and my crew going to do?
And look, and I know
what we working together to do.
I know when me and my crew, my fellas that I hang out with, that I go on a fellas trip, we going to smoke, reefer, drink, and get some hoes. I know exactly what we're doing. So if anybody going that's married, don't need to be going. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got your situation straight at home or can be honest. So it's like certain things we act like we don't know what's going on. Like when the girls going on the girls trips, you know what I'm saying? They going to do the same thing me and my goddamn homeboys going to do. Otherwise, you would want to be relaxing on the beach with your old lady. You know what I'm saying? So we going to get away from our old ladies. You see what I'm saying? So
we got to be real enough to say that we going to create situation, possibilities, and circumstances to destroy some real shit.
Exactly.
And then we act like it's an illusion to what's wrong with the young niggas who ain't got a charging system. Because the daddy wanted to be in a fucking crew, understanding what the fucking crew is about. Let me say this, man. This is some real shit. Because we talk about shit like family reunion.
Yeah.
And we say these words. And I see us a lot of effort to bring family reunion back. But one thing you got to understand, family reunion, them two words, family is where they come in a union. A family is a man, a woman, and their children. I grew up with two sets of grandparents. I went to family reunions on both sides, two on both sides. I know what a family reunion is when they say your clan, your crew, your family. That was a man, a woman, and his children. And we all came together, and that was the union and the reunion. But now we will argue about what is family. All we know family to be is cousins. Cousins. What's up, cuz? You don't know who cuz daddy is. What's up, cuz? So now we all out of context.
And the young kids, they call they goddamn mama, bruh. They call everybody, bruh.
Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna say this real shit. My bad, Javon. This in my soul, dog.
Go ahead.
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte born, Charlotte raised. I say this shit off the top of my chest. I'm Charlotte. My grandma had 9 kids on both sides. I had cousins everywhere that came to grandma's house. We was a clan. We was a crew. When I went to my cousin's house in North Charlotte, I met his crew. I got affiliated and honored. When I went to this cousin, when they came to my house, so no matter where I go in Charlotte, man, come on, good people, the name, that's the crew. When you're good and you're real, the crew becomes a web of realness. But man, we don't even know what family is to start the foundation of a real crew. Somebody say he in your crew and he don't even know you. Come on.
You know, now, man, we call everybody family, everybody my cousin, everybody my sister, everybody my brother. I remember my students used to be like walking in the house, Mr. Clark, this my brother. I'd be like, your real brother? Like, no, this my sister, this my cousin. I used to be like, and I would always be like, your real cousin? You know, it's like we attribute these words so easily to high school and childhood bonds, when our crew is normally who we come up with is just who growing up in the same little poor neighborhood we grow up in. And it's like we tie ourselves to each other. I remember growing up, one of my best friends ended up going to prison doing 19 years. And people say I turned my back on him. And I just was like, turn my back on him. He turned his back on the goddamn world. I ain't turned my back on him. Like he turned his back on the world when you go get 19 years in prison. And we hold each other to these childhood bonds. And most of the time when we talk about my crew and my boys, it's something that we're doing together that's not productive. I give you a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. Damn, I lost the thought. Go ahead. I had a good thought, Trav.
Man, this real shit, this friendship. I learned this lesson in real life from my Uncle John P. He dead and gone. I want to say this as a side note. I used to believe in spirits and they could talk, but when he died and he ain't said shit to me, I say that shit ain't real, cause if that shit was real, John P would have say, hey boy, let me tell you this shit right here, man. He'll break all the goddamn rules to come let me know, man, I made it. You know what I mean? So, but let me say this though. That man taught me a lot, and he had a group of friends. They was born in the late 50s, early 50s, a group of old men, and all of them dead. I watched all of them die one by one, but they were crew from the time they was 5 to all of them died in their 70s and 80s, right? And I want to say this, man, that they went through addiction. They went through sobriety. They went through every stage of life. They even went through death together, man. You the last one left, huh? Oh, man, my whole crew did. And sure enough, he died, right? But I'm saying this to say, when you come together to work towards something, we all done grew up and matured. We don't work towards getting high. We don't work towards having sex. We don't work towards shining. We don't work towards everything. But like I say, your expectations is a mirror of your maturity. So as we mature and we hold each other accountable to mature together, because we as a crew, we working together to sustain and maintain. We working together to be able to see our children grow and our grandbabies here. We're working together for that shit, man. And ain't nobody above the bullshit, like I say. Just like I watched my uncle and them, my uncle in his last days of all he been through, started taking pain pills because he had cancer and he got hooked. And he said, boy, I done fought through everything. And I can't believe I'm hooked on these pills in the end, Trav. He said, boy, this shit real on me. He said, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's the first time in my life I'm going through this shit. And I ain't got Chucky here to tell me, come on, John, come up out of that shit, man. So that's what a crew do when you mature, man. But if that ain't real, man, if that ain't real, and I'm going to say this right here, some people don't have that. Some people go join affiliations and associations. Some people get branded just so they can be a part of a crew to feel like, and I ain't knocking that. But the real truth, I'm talking about the real truth. If somebody give you the authorization to be a part of it, then it ain't never been a part of you. And that ain't really your crew.
Man, I'm going to tell you something to make me decide of how I deal with a person as I get to know a person. And even with people I grew up with, it's like dealing with a woman. It's a statement that I hate. this right here. One of my homegirls hit me today, and she said, "Hey, stranger." And I just opened up to her. I said, "That's why I don't hit you like that." She said, "What you mean?" I said, "Why you got to start off with, 'Hey, stranger, remind me when the last time we talked?'" I said, "It make me feel a certain obligation or pressure to be your fucking friend."
Mhm.
And this is a real homegirl. This is not somebody I ever slept with. This is just a real friend. And I said, "Why do you have to start with, 'Hey, stranger'?" And when I meet a guy or friends that I have from college or, people, that's something I judge. I got a homeboy that I slowly falling out with just based on that saying. Every time he called me, "You don't fuck with me no more, do you?" And it's like, why do you have to start the conversation like that?
Mm.
And we've been friends a long time. And every time he called me, I say to myself, I'm going to say it to him. Then I said, some of my mind said, I'm going to say to him, "You don't fuck with me no more, do you?" Before he can say it to me, right? And then some of my mind said, I ain't saying that stupid shit. I hope he don't say it. And he say it every fucking time.
Mm.
I be wanting to say. So it's like that pressure to, I don't have any obligation, to call you ever so often or be in tune to what you got going on, because the way I live my life, I don't like a lot of negative. And I know the difference between a friend needing to talk to me and need some encouragement, or a motherfucker just telling me the bad news or just want to vent about his bad decisions. I have a very good feeling. So I don't close myself off to people. You know what I'm saying? I literally have a crew. I call it the cookout crew. Some of them you see on Facebook, IB, Mike Carter, both Jamals, my man Steve, the professor at Central. These are people that I have grown fond of in my grown man years. You get what I'm saying? And we don't require or need nothing of each other but just that friendship. And like you said, that camaraderie, that phone call. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that past history of growing up, getting it out of the mud together. So we don't feel we owe each other anything. You know what I'm saying? Some of my friends from college, when we first graduated, a lot of people don't understand we be in positions and situations where life put us in these situations.
Yeah.
We live on the 4th floor. I got some goddamn jelly. You got some peanut butter. He got some bread. So we accrue because of that reason. Not necessarily because we chose to, hey, I'm a grown man. I got everything I need. I'm your friend because, hey, I like you, bro. We got similar interests. I can talk to you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times our friends and our crew be, where I was born at. Like one of my friend that did the time, we lived near each other. I'm at his house, he at my house. But as we got older, quick story, what made me realize that crew shit, and my grandfather and actually his uncle, Henry Lee, would always give us game. And this is my best friend, and I never forget, quick story. I was the only one that wasn't a cousin that would be around. You know what I mean? Meaning me and my brothers got different fathers. So my best friend was actually my brothers and them real cousin. So they was all family. But everybody treated me like a cousin because I was Nene's best friend and blah, blah, blah. Long story short. So his aunt looked at our little running crew like her nephews. Everybody else her real nephew. I'm the only one that's not the real nephew, right? She had this big ass jar of like a water jug, 5-gallon water jug that she was filling up with quarters. And she used to always say, whichever one of y'all get married first, I'm going to give this jug of quarters to. Even you, Javon. She would always say, let me know, Javon, like I look at you as my nephew too. Even you, Javon. And it made me feel so proud and so inclusive. And I remember when my best friend, he said, hey, man, we're going to go break in my aunt's trailer and take some of them quarters. And I was just like, no, hell no, I ain't doing that. Hell no, because I felt good that she included me as her nephew, right? So he like, man, you scared? Fuck it, we ain't gonna do it. So we go back to his house. Now his mom used to love to play cards with me because I could play spades and shit early. So they would always make me play spades or gin rummy with them because I'm a kid, but I'm a partner.
Yeah.
We get back up there. His mom, come on in here and play cards with us, Javon. So I like hanging around the older people anyway. So I'm playing cards, bid whist, and stuff with the older people. Him and my other cousin go right back down there and steal them goddamn quarters. You know what I'm saying? Still a lot of them too. And after I finished playing cards, they like, let's ride our bike to the store. We ride our bike to the store. That's when the stores had the little video games in there, the 25 cents. So we playing games, just playing games like a motherfucker. They going to get snacks and shit. They buying me shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They kept it from me. Long story short, the lady that owned the store know my mama, and she know my mama was serious than a motherfucker about everything. So she called my mama. You know, your son was up here today with Pig's son. I ain't spent no quarters.
Yeah.
A whole lot of damn quarters. So my mom, she just so fucking suspicious and just over a helicopter parent. She called me down my friend Nene house. Where the hell you get all them goddamn quarters from? Mama ain't had no quarters. You a goddamn lie. Eunice Tucker say you blah, 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 blah. So she called Nene mama. Send his ass goddamn home. You know what I'm saying? Send me home. Bam. I get home. My mama turn my ass up. Next day, I go down there like it ain't nothing happened. His aunt crying like a motherfucker. Crying. Nene, y'all done broke in here. Took my quarters. She was the aunt that lived in New Jersey but had a trailer back home.
Yeah.
You know, but it was always locked, but he knew how to get in it. And I never forget it. She looked at me. She said, Javon, and you stole my quarters too. I treat you like my nephew and included you. Hey, man, when I tell you that shit made me cry, that shit made me cry so bad because I didn't know nothing about it. But that cruise shit, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say I wasn't in it. Man, that shit make damn it. I have always said I'm gonna call his aunt and tell her that I didn't steal them quarters with him, and we grown men now. Last time I seen him, I said, man, I'm gonna call your aunt, man. He laughed it off. I said, I'm serious, man. That shit still bother me to this day because that's one thing I ain't never been. I ain't never been no nigga that steal no shit. All my friends know that about me. Yeah. And she cried, man, and she was like, I treated you like a nephew. And boy, that shit hurt me so bad, right? That they sat there and let me take the blame of that shit like I broke in the motherfucker without them. And man, that shit had me so mad. And then my nigga got locked up. 19 years. And I remember his uncle saying when he got locked up, he said, I know Vaughn ain't take them quarters. He said he always been the bad one. I used to always get the bad rap hanging with this nigga, and he was always doing shit. But the reason it was like that, his mom was like a real good lady, like an innocent church woman, and my family was kind of like, you know, owned the liquor house, blah, 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 blah. So when shit would go down as best friends, everybody would think I was the one doing it. And so I ain't gonna lie, man. I was kind of happy when the nigga got locked up because of that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man, because that shit burned me. That shit burned me to this day, man. As a grown man, just seeing how it feel to go back to his aunt looking at me like she didn't accepted me. And his aunt used to buy my school clothes, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know that rich aunt that come down and look out for everybody. Yeah. And that's when I always said, I was 16 years old when that shit happened. That was my best friend and I was like, I'm never gonna let this homeboy shit. That's never gonna happen to me again. I ain't never getting in trouble for a motherfucker again. And we didn't even get in trouble. I just got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? That shit fucked me up, man, to this day, yo.
Yeah, I feel that, man. And I would say, you know, like we say, when you look at the bigger picture, like I said, that's a piece of your movie. Obviously, when the credits roll, the names of that story gonna be bold because that impacted you forever. But like you say, that made you, it changed your perspective of who you would ever take the fall for. It made you evaluate who you was with if anything could possibly go down, you made sure you was conscious of who you was around. So yeah, I get it, man, and I feel it to say make that phone call. We all children that got old dealing with certain shit that we ain't or can't deal with, and if that's something that deals with you and your soul, then make that phone call and make sure she know. But most likely she already know. She know that her brother told her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure her brother told her because that was his uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But yeah, man, it's so. I don't know if that left a bad taste in my mouth. And I know like I said, as a young man, I've always let my experiences guide me and lead me because, you know, my grandfather was just always so hard on me about being an individual. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no kids till I was 43 years old because my grandfather used to always tell me your dick gonna make you a slave. And you know what I'm saying? And I just got told, do your dirt by your lonesome so much growing up. That was just a thing. Do your dirt by your lonesome. I remember my granddaddy and they friends, hey, pour me a drink. Motherfucker, you said, pour your own troubles. They wouldn't even pour each other a drink. You know what I'm saying? It was always like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Do your dirt. If I guess that's what pour your own troubles meant. Like, pour your own drink, motherfucker. If you're going to get hooked on this alcohol shit, you can't say I did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming that's what that meant. You know what I'm saying? But do your dirt by your lonesome, man. It's crazy how I just never been the type of nigga that just gonna go out here and do some shit with somebody. Like, where's the guy in the crew that said, no, man, that's fucked up? You know what I'm saying? That was always me. Like, what the fuck he is?
Hey, look, you know, man, and there's some real hero training shit. And this is what hero training is about. You gotta know you the one. Bottom line, man. And that ain't to say you the only one. You one of the ones. But you got to know that. You got to really be living in that, not believe. Be living in that and knowing you the one and align yourself and attract other ones. I say this and I use sports analogies a lot because, you know, we all connected to them one way or another, but I've been on a championship team. I know what it takes to make a championship team. In football, it takes 11 people that really believe they the one and play, and all of us play our position at a high level. And we win championships and we execute because amongst us and in our huddle, there's no insecurities. We are confident in what we come to do, and that shows. So when you're thinking about a crew, I always ask this question: who realer than you? If you got an answer, get the fuck out the huddle, cause you ain't starting.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's talk about when most people get in trouble. A lot of people don't get in trouble by themselves. Most of the time, you get in trouble with a crew of guys you get in trouble with. You see situations out here where these young men, like we talking about this YSL shit right now. We see right here in front of our face this whole RICO case, this whole YSL. These boys were really a conglomerate. Tell on each other, pillow talk, snitch right in front of our face. This is one of the first times we've ever seen that. You know, growing up, hip hop has never been on trial. You get what I'm saying? Our music, hip hop has never been on trial, meaning we had no way of knowing whether these niggas was faking or doing this shit or really not doing this shit. Whether these niggas was snitching. We see right now for the first time in our culture that niggas snitch, niggas tell, the whole big meat snitching shit or whoever didn't snitch. Or we see right now that this whole street code crew love shit is some fake bullshit. This is our first time in our history. Now our generation, Trav, we have swear to God, we goddamn stand on business and we don't snitch, but we was doing the same thing. They just didn't have access to the paperwork because the police weren't there. How the hell they solve the crime if the police weren't there? Somebody told. But for the first time, we're really seeing this whole crew shit. It's just motherfuckers leaning on each other for self. And when I say crew, like you said, a crew, what's our common goal? Most people that hang and run in a crew and they talking about crew, it's some illegal activities going on. The man that gets up and go to work every day got to get 8 hours of sleep and 8 hours of work. He ain't got time for no crew shit. When is this crew shit happening? This shit is happening during the day or at night. This is illegal shit going down.
Man. Hero mathematics, order operation. If somebody called me and say, Trav, my car won't start. And I say, go get in your car. I say, you in your car? They say, yeah. I say, cut the ignition on. What it do? All the lights in the dash came on. Crank it up. What it do? It ain't doing nothing, it's clicking. Was your battery light on? Through order operation and what happens, I can assimilate what's going to happen next, what posed to happen next, to even initialize where the area of problem is.
Yeah.
That ain't deep. That's just a general understanding of how a car works. So when we're dealing with men, like you say, you work 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours, you got 8 more hours to do something with your family or somebody that matter. If you bust that down to your crew, then goddamn, what do you and your woman do? That's simple mathematics. But if it won't start and it's saying every time I cut on the goddamn key ignition, check your battery post. What's wrong, man, McKee? Check your battery post. It won't start because you ain't never there connecting. Every time somebody call home, they say, wait, daddy, he gone. He with his crew. Working to do what? You see how that work, man? So I'm saying this to say, dog, I'm saying this to say, ain't nobody got to create no illusion to understand why. If anybody pay attention, we know why. That's algebra. You know why. And we know Z. So if your crew ain't helping you stay crunk, keep it right, if your crew ain't a part of your ecosystem, what's your ecosystem? Everything that needs to be a part of a system to keep it thriving and stay alive. Yeah, you're a part of my crew. This is a part of my crew. Collaboration over competition. How can we thrive if me and my brother collaborate every Tuesday in genuine, pure sincerity to build his understanding with my understanding so that people get a spectrum of understanding that they may take away to work and use in their life? As long as we secure in what he is, what I am, man, we gonna build. Because I'm going to ask him one question. Who the leader of Bells and Bubbles? Who the leader of Bells and Bubbles?
Me.
I'm the leader of Hero Training. Now, who the leader of your crew? See how that works? Anytime there's a leader, how dare you be a part when you made the lead?
And that's kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say you get to a point. I said in the very beginning of the show, my crew kind of follows me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a crew because I don't, it's not saying I'm not a follower. I just live my life, and the people I come across that be in my circle. Comment. All I hear is trauma from both of these gentlemen. You guys are no different from the people you're talking about, just further upon the spectrum. You're exactly right.
let me respond to that.
I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, first of all, I never respond to motherfuckers.
No, I want to, because that's real.
Look, slick mouth niggas with the black thing. But I'm like, hey, man, you're exactly right. That's what we do every Tuesday. We talk about this show. We get on here and we talk about our trauma and our issues and what we've gone through as a people and as men and how we're overcoming and how some and we got fucking further to go, motherfucker. We definitely further along the spectrum than the niggas we talking about, but we learning from people too. So you exactly,
and I want to say this to him. That's real. That's real because ain't nobody above the bullshit.
Exactly.
But the bullshit will make you better. And listen to this part, dog. The bullshit will make you better if you real enough to deal with it. Man, I'm so thankful and grateful. And it's some that's watching me that showed me the wounds to their trauma, that helped me deal with it on my level of the spectrum. So if that's all we are, then that's all we need to be. That's all we intend to be. I ain't standing before you telling you I'm more than you. I'm saying I'm a hero in training, and I'm sincere enough to show my weakness so that we may come together to train to win. Because all I am is a husband and a father that's fighting like a motherfucker to keep my family together. So if that's all I am and that's all you is, then you goddamn right, brother. You goddamn right.
I think what's a situation, Trav.
You goddamn right. That's what we
trying to be. I like how you address it. Funny or slick mouth. It's like I don't deny that statement. Right. That's exactly what we're doing. I'm trying to get further along in the spectrum in some things I'm further along in, some things I'm less in. But yeah, we having a conversation. That what we do, brother. Maybe if you want to, you can tune in one day, show your face, or get you a goddamn real picture, or at least a cartoon.
Or tap in and show and share the alternative.
Yeah.
Because like I say, hero mathematics. It ain't about being right. It ain't about being wrong. It's about meeting at a destination. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. But the destination of a man is to be in position to stand, to be dependent upon. And to have responsibility. So that's the destination of a man. So I call it the 7 type brother. And if you are 5 and 2 and Javon are 6 and 1 and I'm a 4 and 3, then get on here and tell the way how we get there as men.
I put the link up for him, Trav. What's my guy named Jason Staley who made the comment? You can come in, bro, and give your advice if you disagree with us or whatever, or if you just like y'all niggas ain't talking about shit. You know, we mind it. That'll make the show good. You come up here talking some shit. That'll make the show real good. But you know, I wasn't going to address it, but I addressed it because I'm like, well, damn, dude. After I read it a couple of times, I say he right, like he really right. I think he trying to be funny or be smart mouth, but he really right. Like this is exactly what we do. We providing a safe place for black men to talk. That's why it's called Tough Talk Tuesdays. Come on in here, Jason Staley. Show your face, brother. You probably some white guy trolling, but yeah, man, that is so funny to me. That's exactly what we're doing. But back to the discussion at hand, man. You know, when I think about a crew, I think about my crew is leaders. Like literally. Trav, you're a part of my crew.
For real.
And I always heard my homeboy used to say, I'm a king of my kingdom, you're a king of your kingdom. But we all can be kings. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we think, how can I explain this? I remember when I used to be an armor bearer, they used to have this shit where all the big time pastors get together, and I used to go with my pastor, and then they would talk about how to monetize the church and what's gonna be the new theme for this year, and it was all sitting there looking like all these big time motherfuckers got churches, right? And you would think that they would be having some type of, I'm TD Jakes, I'm this nigga, I'm that nigga. No, they would come together and strategize together and talk about how they gonna have the theme. So basically, long story short, we all preaching the same shit.
Yeah.
We making sure we preaching the same shit so don't nobody go against the grain so that we all can get our bread. You know what I'm saying? Situations like, you know, discussing if somebody get caught up in a scandal, we don't comment on it. Not only do we not comment on it, we encourage their followers to remain under them. What's up? You good? No, I'm good. because it's like saying when Eddie Long got caught fucking the little boys, Creflo Dollar said, y'all stay at his church under his anointing, because he don't want to come speak out and say, man, that's fucked up. Because if he said that's fucked up, it's raising a standard. You see what I'm saying? So he said, have mercy for him. Let God handle it. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I'm saying all this to say, I thought that was so dope that all these men of God, for lack of, I'm just giving an example. Don't nobody, making a point. Don't get caught up in the example. The point I'm making is each pastor was like a big time pastor, a king of his own church with his own membership. And they would come in and sit around together and strategize how to stay kings. And that's how I kind of look at Trav. I'm trying to make it to the top with Trav. Me and my homeboy Artie used to always say, how you gonna blow? Shit. And we said, nigga, I'm waiting on you to blow. And he said, nigga, I'm waiting on you to blow. So I'm waiting on some shit for Trav to pop, and he waiting on some shit for me to pop. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. That's what my crew is. And anybody else that's in my crew is a nigga that's like that I consider a leader that got something going for itself in its own purpose. Otherwise, I'm not fucking with no man I don't think have a purpose. That don't mean I can't mentor you or be your how can I say this? My old pastor, this is something he used to say. He said, you should always have relationships like a cross. Somebody above you, two people on the side of you that's your equal, that you can, that can keep you in, talk to you, and then one below you. You should always have a lot of people below you. So it's like, that's how I look at it. There's somebody above me. I got people on the side of me, and that's a lot of people that's what I would call under me. So you have responsibilities of keeping your purpose. If ain't nobody looking up to you or under you, you don't have no reason to maintain your integrity. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where I'm not really fucking with nobody that's not in their purpose.
Yeah. And I want to say, even in that, man, like we hear saying, like, make the money, don't let the money make you. So if you really understand that, then at no point in your position will you ever be in a position where you feel somebody is above you based off money. The real shit that I am, man, money can't buy.
Yeah.
Money can't even put a value on it. And that's being real. So it's like, even in we all we got, we all we need. I work in manufacturing. I've for 27 years, I've understood the science of making something. I'm a leader, man. I understand it from every level. Right now, I work for a company that make a product on a diaper. Just a little piece that you pull and scrap around where it make it stick to stay up on the waist. Just that little piece. I want to talk about a crew. Just that little piece. My plant works 24/7, 7 days a week. We normally shut down only for Christmas and maybe Thanksgiving. But outside of that, we work 24/7, 7 days a week, and we only make a piece of the diaper. I never saw a diaper made, but our piece is on every store brand diaper that you see. If you're in Food Line and the Food Line brand, my piece, the piece that I had to look, measure, make sure it's under specification, that all of these people livelihood is dependent upon. I'm a part of that diaper, right? And for our piece, we got 17 vendors that we pay a minimum of $9 million a year. A minimum of $9 million a year. We just got a crew that make this product that's only a piece of a product. So when you talk about your crew and you talking about what you come together to work to do, see, if we manufacturing something that can change people's lives, then all we got to be is a part. And when we come together, the crew do what it do. But the fundamental question, even if you say you got a crew, if your crew is the Masons, if your crew is the fraternity, if your crew is the gang, if your crew is your family, whatever your crew is, I ain't trying to bang on that. I want you to bang on the question, what do y'all come together to do? What you build? What you create? What you maintain? So that cut the bullshit. That's on every level. What you do with your crew?
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember my homeboy when we was in college, he used to always say, KYP, know your personnel. And that was like saying, as we was going out to do something, it was like, all right, everybody know what everybody can do. Like we had a friend that his parents had money. He had a big ass Suburban back in the day. We always gonna ride in his car. But he was the most irresponsible mother spoiled nigga we knew. You know what I'm saying? So he never could drive. Yeah. Somebody was always driving his car.
Yeah.
My homeboy was broke, never had no money.
Yeah.
But he didn't drink. Yeah. So he always was the driver. You know what I'm saying? It's like knowing your personnel. If it's some girls around, we know. Don't let him say nothing. He gonna say the wrong thing too early. You know what I'm saying? And it's like knowing who you with and everybody playing their position. It's really a level of safety that happens. And I don't understand sometimes when I looked at my crew, there was somebody always, how can I say it? Saying, nah, somebody was always, even normally I was the one making sure we won't get in no trouble. Not making sure, but just saying, man, I ain't doing that shit, man. Take me home, motherfucker. And I'll fight for I goddamn, you gonna lead me somewhere. So, you know, I've always been the type of nigga that was, but then there were times where I would do shit or want to do shit or get drunk off some wine like my uncles and my friends of reel me in. So it's like we were college athletes playing football, trying to make the league and graduate. Like you said, what is y'all here for? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all here for? We wasn't a crew of niggas that was here to fucking party and fuck bitches and fuck our life up. We wanted to graduate, and you know, everybody became good men. Everybody I know, I don't know nobody on child support. That's one of the things I'm proud of. You know what I'm saying? All of my friends, all my crew that I fuck with tight at homecoming, that I tailgate with. It's a lot of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We tailgate every year, and everybody not married to their baby mama now. Some people didn't divorce, but everybody is the type of man that quarterback a situation that's a good man that handle their business. You know what I'm saying? To where they ain't had to get into it with the courts. And that's one of the things I always say I'm proud of. My niggas don't pay no child support. They either married or they in good standings with the mother of their children. So I don't really know everybody that was that this is the thing that is hard, like the brother say. Like the brother said, we on a different spot on the spectrum. And this is the thing that is hard for me to say because I'm still on the spectrum. And this was the thing that people are getting mad at. But by the time I got a certain age, everybody that was a fuck up was already rooted out of my life. I don't care who you was. And that's what I think puts me on the further end of the fucking spectrum. I literally was like, I don't know nobody that's not trying to do well. You know, everybody that I went to high school with that didn't go to college, I didn't, it's not like I said, hey, I'm too good to fuck with everybody that didn't go to college. No, you stayed home. My hometown, there's one factory. If you don't get on at that factory, you're doomed. You're going to be a fuck up, drug selling, just a fuck up. It's one factory. That's the job. If you don't get on there, it's over. So it's not like I'm looking down on people. I'm just like, hey, I'm not being around you. Everybody that was fucking up. I think we don't understand it. I want to discuss, man, possibly next week, man. That's why we in such of a state of arrested development. We have a group think. When I say group think as black people, you know what group think is like. It's almost like we monolithic, like on certain things the whole race agree with. You know, there's certain things. It's like, hey, that's black people right there. If you say the black experience, like for example, I always say, hey, after my childhood, and I don't even look at myself as struggling in my childhood because that's the childhood that conditions that I came up in. That was my mother's and parents' situation. I wasn't struggling. I was being a kid, eating candy and goddamn playing football, no matter how poor I was. Yeah. But the point I'm making is, as an adult, I don't have this black experience. Like people are trying to pull you into their struggles. Oh yeah, everybody know how it is to goddamn be in the house with candles and no lights. Like I don't, man.
Yeah.
Everybody know how it is for their baby mama to be goddamn doing this, doing that to them. No, I don't, bro. I don't know how that feel. I didn't go through that. I was responsible. I don't know how it feel. You know, everybody know how, you know, it's like we trying to almost like if poverty is the black experience.
Yeah.
Like we try to make poverty the black experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's up, Shante?
Yeah. Oh, no, what's up?
No. I was finished.
Okay. Man, I got triggered by the word spectrum. And that's a real thing. Like I say, I work a job. In the midst of working a job in manufacturing and leadership, I've also concurrently ran my own business. I'm the son of a junk man. That's a trade my daddy put in me, that I work 15 days a week on my job. For the other 15, I work for myself, full throttle. I did that for a long time till I realized my daddy say, son, you know you're one man now. Boy, goddamn, hey, look, you ain't no robot. And sure enough, I went through some changes and COVID happened where I had to make some decisions. But on the spectrum, I go to work and we say, Trav, man, a lot of people don't even believe I work because I'm that much of a leader. They saw me in that way, but man, this job is securing my family. And I mean, I battle with my ego to know I'm more than this, but I'm way over here on the spectrum. Now, I got a friend that I call a brother, and I'm honored to say I'm a part of his crew like he a part of my crew, my brother Wood. Third Phase Body Oils. Look it up. Wholesale, retail, any aspect of black business when you're dealing with essential products like shea butter, incense, anything to that magnitude, right? But I'm like a spook that's set by the door. I've been cultivated. At 25, 24 years old, I got sent to every leadership training that they could send me to. OSHA training, safety training, Six Sigma, any training they could send me to cultivate a leader to understand leadership. But I'm on the other end of the spectrum than my brother, who's a powerful black man that's running a legitimate business. In all the ways that we would think Nipsey Hussle do. Man, I'm talking about in real life. I ain't talking about no make-believe shit. So I'm talking to my brother on the other end of the spectrum, who's built his business from the ground up, brick by brick, to the point where now he has to have employees. And we call and we talk. And he say, man, I don't know how to deal with this. Or I'm struggling dealing with this, but all the way on the other end of the spectrum. Boy, I've been trained in relations, morale training, motivation, every aspect to know how to make a work operation run. So just our conversation, being in each other crew, I can have a conversation with my brother to help him understand what to do and how it works. From policies to every aspect of what a real company look like, because I see him in that way. So when we talk about spectrum, yeah, we all on different ends of the spectrum. That ain't no bad thing, but we got to travel back and forth. That's what relationship is about. That's what crew is about. What you do, what you bring. I paid a Mexican crew, just like you watched on their house, a crew. I paid a Mexican crew $40,000. And in 2 weeks, I moved into a fucking hotel and watched them crew after crew, a flow crew, a roof crew, a wall crew, an electric crew, all these different crews come together to do one thing. My white lady neighbors say, I watched that and I just can't believe how many friends you have. I mean, God, I mean, you really are blessed. She thinking they all my crew. You see what I'm saying, man? You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about the spectrum, I say do this when you look at the spectrum, and it's some real life shit. I was over my homeboy house, and him and his wife was sitting there, and she had a list of names on the paper. I said, what's them names? She said, I wrote down everybody in my life that I deal with. And I asked every question, what do they do for me? And if they don't do nothing for me, I put a check on their name. Because I'm finna clean house.
I know what you finna ask. I know.
And I say, well, what of the ones that ain't doing something for you? You meant to do something for them.
I knew it. I know you, Trav.
And it hit her. It hit her. Damn. See, great givers make great getters. It takes one to know one. That's what they told us on the playground. It takes one to know one. So for you to see the weakest link in the crew, it's probably a mirror and you're looking at you.
Yeah, man, you know, I sit back and I think. And I think about us as a people. You know what I'm saying? When I think about us as a people, there's a level of seem like where we stopped growing. And we stopped growing because the crews cheered us on in certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can I say this? Some simple as sagging your pants. That right there is a level of stagnant growth that everybody agree with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like that in our generation. Like I heard a guy say some shit the other day, man. Fucked me up. Really fucked me up. He was an old man and he was talking about playing the piano, right? And I said, man, I always wanted to learn. He said, well, why don't you learn? I said, I'm trying to teach myself. He was like, well, you're a little older, teach yourself. You should take some lessons. I said, yeah. He said, you don't sound like you're going to take them. I said, no, I said, I'm going to look into it. He said, man, you know, we got 2 generations going on, 3 generations that don't know how to play music.
Come on.
And I said, explain to me what you mean. He said, well, when I was coming up, everybody could play a guitar, the piano, a horn. It was a form of expression. It was the cheapest form of expression that you can do as a black person was to learn how to play an instrument. He was basically saying, you know, everybody went through a lot and everybody learned how to play an instrument. It's the way you bonded with your friends. It's the way you bonded with your family. He said, ever since that goddamn rap music came out, ain't nobody needed to learn how to play an instrument. I got to thinking about that shit, man. And he kept talking more and he started talking about this old man started talking about the vibration of instruments in the band. And he was like, them synthesizers, y'all can't feel nothing, you know? And I got to think about when you go to a live band, you can feel the snare. You can feel the bass coming through the speakers. You know what I'm saying? And it made me think about our music. When a certain vibration and a certain frequency and the 808 and it's all that bottom, boom, boom. You can't move nothing but your dick in your ass to that boom. No, I'm serious. I'm saying, no, man. No, I'm serious. I don't want to get too deep because I'm talking
get
about
deep, man. Let's go. I'm ready. God damn it. Go, gadget deep.
But you got to think like a hi-hat. When you hear a hi-hat,
Yeah.
you don't move your dick in your ass to no hi-hat. When you hear a hi-hat, it's high. It's a higher frequency. So you. But when that motherfucking 808 come in, boom, 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 you're going to move your lower chakra. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into all that. But long story short is, I be thinking sometime rap music and hip hop, notice how it got more violent and violent and violent and less about anything, the more technology gave us the opportunity. Back in the day when we couldn't sample none but James Brown, get back, get back. It's like you couldn't say, but when that shit got the technology with all the 808s and we got to be able to do so much with it, man, we got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's like we started having crews. It used to be a crew to dance battle. Then we started having crews that almost like, shit, we finna go out to the club and fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, sometimes, man, I just look at our music and I see how it just stunted our growth. And like Arrested Development, it's like, why did how can I say this? The question I'm asking is, why did our grandparents and uncles and shit that grew up on bands stop right here? Why didn't they go over into hip hop? Now, we know we like hip hop and we listen to what our children listen to. Like, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a slut. Why didn't our grandparents listen to what we listen to? I can only think it's because of the instruments. Like, they was like, I don't want to hear no shit without no frequency, real instruments in it. And like right now, we in a situation where everything that come out, I listen to. Why ain't I saying, man, fuck this genre of music, man? This shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That group think of us.
I don't think it's deep at all, man. When you look at Motown in that era, like you say, that was the era of the band. And he go once again, wordplay, different spell, different word. Band versus crew. A crew is when a group of people come together to work for a particular goal or common thing. A band is when a group of people come together to work together for a particular space of harmony, sound, and time. Same thing, just different wordplay. But one thing that changed, man, about our music from then to now, and why Motown, Silent Night, that every year, 65 years later, still feels good in our soul because it had living spirit in it. Every sound you heard was connected to emotion, to a breath, to an energy in motion. You understand what I'm saying, man? So it's like when you take the spirit out of something, it's dead. I got a thing where I call it the hero hymn. I say, hear it, spirit means wind. When I inhale the mighty wind and I exhale and then it travels past my vocal cords and causes a vibration that we know is sound. And you feel that just as much as you hear that, that is when we connect in the hero spirit. And it goes like this. My name is Trappy. I'm a black man. Things about me that some people just can't understand. See, I can be anything that I want to be. But as a black man, it seems to be harder for me. I know I'm smart. I know I'm smooth. I know I got what it takes, but there's so many things in this here world designed to make me break. But if you're not a black man, please understand what it takes and feel like to be a black man. And all the things that I've been through, I stand in this here moment to say to you, God damn it, it's real. So when you feel that, that's what never dies. And when we don't put that in us, all the way back to Bubba. See, I make hood so Bubba is a real dude. That hi-hat, when he find that tune, when man, that tune taking him away from the job, taking him away from the woman, because he coming with his crew to escape and release some things that got built up in him in the form of sound. God damn it, that's why it's dead. Because we don't come together like crews no more and put some shit down from the soul. That's why it's dead, and that ain't deep.
Yeah, man, because I always say our crews emulate the music that we going through. Like, we don't understand how much music affects us. And our music today, all it talk about is my fucking crew and what we gonna do. We're gonna do a 2-man on the hose. We're gonna run a train, my crew. It's like back in the day when, like you said, when Motown was out, the guys, the crew sang around the barrel. I got sunshine. You know what I'm saying? And then when breaking and fucking electric boogaloo and shit was out, the crew got together to dance. You know what I'm saying? It's like now the crew get together based on the music to fuck somebody up. We finna go get some hats. We finna drill somebody. It's like we don't understand how music is shaping male fellowship. If that's a way to understand and say what I'm saying, like, God damn, if the song said let's get up and let's do this, there was a time where the music during the R&B 80s was so smooth. What did the crews get together? We got up, we went to the mall, and we saw who could get the most fucking phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the 80s was about. You know what I'm saying? The music, now kids get up and it's like, yo, let's see who can go out and do some fuck shit. Let's go get high. Let's do this. It's like the music is bragging. Think about this, Trav. During the late 90s, early 2000s, music was so much about trapping and drugs. That's what niggas talked about. That's what the crews got together to do. Now music is about doing drugs, and these kids get up and they brag on how much drugs they do. So our black male fellowship has moved with our music. And what I'm saying, ultimately, when you got a crew of motherfuckers, that's a group of influential motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, I hate to say it like this, because you have certain situations where, when I was growing up in high school, right, they had in a small town little hangout spots in the town. For some reason, wherever the black men congregated, the police would always be out there just chilling. Like after the football game, like white people used to hang out at the Burger Barn. Black people used to hang out at the Hardee's. Police would be near the Hardee's. White people over there, young, teenage, drinking, acting a goddamn fool. Police never go over there. So I started going over there hanging with the white folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The point I'm making is, when you see a group of black men that ain't a sports team, you know it's some goddamn shit going down, Jack.
Hey, look, I'm glad you made that point.
I ain't want to say this.
No, this real talk. And I want to use this for real in life. No matter what sport, when they call a timeout in the team huddle, what happens in their huddle and what they talk about? No matter what sport it is.
Yeah, who making mistakes, what we need to fix, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying?
So any powerful group of men, I told you, I was honored to be invited to a crew that's working together in Charlotte, a group of Muslim brothers that's coming together to make an impact in the community. They are a crew. I got invited. All I say was I represent collaboration over competition. I ain't looking to be in your crew. I'm looking to work with your crew, right? But that's what they were talking about. What do we need to do to be effective in our goal? That's the bottom line, y'all. We can't rationalize with order. We got to stop rationalizing with order. We know there's different circumstances in life. Like brothers say, we just two different brothers on the different end of the spectrum. Yeah, two athletes on the different end of the spectrum. One play basketball, one play football, one play baseball. But listen, y'all, discipline and conditioning. I go to a Friday night football game, fourth quarter, game on the line, winning drive, offsides, all discipline, causing them to lose the game. If they ain't never understood why the coach make them line up at the end of practice and run back and forth until they almost puke, and all they know is coach conditioned us like hell, because it's at that goddamn moment when the crew got to be ready to be disciplined and have a condition to win and finish. And if we're going to get to a point where we argue with that to say that's just subjective on the spectrum, then motherfucker, get off the field and get up my huddle, because you ain't never won. That's what it take. So I don't know what kind of fucking crew we could argue, but if that ain't what your crew do.
Man, I was sitting here one day and my wife was
Man, my bad, man.
No,
I try not to get angry, but man, shit, man.
My wife was watching me and my friends, right? And it's my crew. We call it the cookout crew. And it was the first time she really, when she got to be around, because you know, my wife is the type of woman, she know if I'm with my crew, we don't need no damn women around us. You know what I'm saying? And over time, my friends start wanting to talk to my wife more than they want to talk to me, because you know they get to see my wife online and they see her personality, and you know they dealing with women, and a lot of them admire her and our relationship. So she started to get privy to being around when we just kind of sitting around on the deck when the party started to go down. You know what I'm saying? When everybody here, everybody drink, but when the party started going down and the crew just chilling. And one night she was just like, y'all all right? And we was like, what you mean? What she saw was how we judge each other and keep each other so sharp. She thought we was mad at each other. Like she never seen men check each other, and men said, nah, fuck that shit, nigga. You been saying that shit for a minute. You ain't doing shit. You know, she never saw that. So at the end of the night, she was like, y'all good? Y'all seem like, I said, what you talking about? She was like, it's just y'all was saying a lot of stuff to each other. I was thinking offensive, and you know, people. I said, now y'all women would have got mad at that. We holding each other accountable. We like, nah, nigga, you said you was gonna get a food truck a minute ago. You ain't gonna do shit. Or go ahead and do this. You know what I'm saying? But it was a situation where what she thought was cutting each other down was pure encouragement and not letting a nigga slide on no bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the crew member, or I don't know. I'm not affiliated with any crew. I know there's no one I can go talk to that's not going to tell me, yeah, but. That's what I say in Bears and Bubbles, that goddamn yeah, but frog. If I go to my friends or my crew that I call my crew and I complain or tell my situations, when I'm done, they going to say, yeah, but. They not going to say, yeah, I get it, man. Yeah. You fucked up. That's the situation right there, you know. Yeah. I understand why you da. My friend's gonna be like, yeah, but hey nigga, you da. We always trying to pull each other up. I don't get no fucking sympathy from niggas. Like my niggas is looking for me to be strong. You know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of that. So it's like it's hard for me to not say yeah, but. Yeah, but like my guy right here, Dante Searles, he say we don't control the narrative of music anymore. Once that BET and Essence and everything start getting bought up, all publicly traded companies, we do not have any. We control what we listen to and what we let our kids listen to. There was a time when rap music was all about. Let's just be real. That was a time when rap music, you had to be a smart nigga to rap. KRS-One and Rakim and them niggas was rapping, and Boogie Down Productions and Public Enemy and D-Nice and Cool G rap. You couldn't be no dumb nigga rapping. Let's just be real. Don't nobody want to tell the truth. Them West Coast niggas came out rapping that dumb tough shit because they couldn't do no spoken word. And the white man didn't make that popular, because this is the thing that's fucked me up about black people and making excuses. And I'm not saying he making excuses. I'm just saying how he's saying to me is an excuse. The white man sells gospel music. He don't care about the message. He
he don't give a
goddamn money.
yeah.
The white man sell Marilyn Manson. Oh, we're gonna kill and eat a duck and all this shit. He just want to make some money. Black people take the easiest way out. The easiest thing to do is to make the same old bullshit that everybody else is making. That's why we went through an era of everybody rapping like this, and they sing rap. So it's like the white man. If every black rapper decided, I'm gonna rap about Jesus, the white man, you'll hear the radio. K97.5. We got Lil Baby and a Jesus song. They wouldn't give a fuck. We doing that. If you go back and listen at black music, I was listening at some old music from like the early 1900s, late 1800s. My man Dick Long as a bat, he gave me the clap. Black people always made fuck music, you know what I'm saying? But it was liquor house, it was for the back room. This is before the white man even let us be on the radio.
The first.
Yeah, every race got they raunchy music and stuff, but I think we one of the first races, like I said, with this drug music to just say, hey, me and my crew rapped about how you cook the drugs. Like people don't realize that the police listen at the music, and that's what makes our little crews look a certain way. Okay, for example, you hear in the songs now, double cup, I got my double cup. Oh, the police hear that shit so much. Hey, what the fuck is going on with the double cup? That's what they sip promethazine in. So you see a little crew of niggas with they double cup. Stop them niggas. They sipping syrup. You know what I'm saying? We tell everything in our music. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they don't have nothing to do. Ain't nobody putting our gun to our head saying, let's tell them we sip syrup in double cups. Ain't nobody making us do that.
Art is always an expression of life, man. Art is an expression of life, and our art was always synonymous with the word soul. Like you say, soul music. Everything was about what you felt in our music, from our church music, gospel, to everything we do. And our soul is always wrapped up in passionate. So when we become passionate about something, that's when you feel it. You say, oh my God, that's that black. You already know soon as the first note drop. But you got passion and you got profit. And the more and more we dropped off of passion and soul and start doing things for profit, like I say, you can't serve two masters. You can't do it. And I know we can say, well, man, that's a lie because people, that's integrity. It's a balance. Like we say, on the spectrum, too much of anything is bad for the soul. Too much passion without enough profit. You can be like me, somebody who feel like I can get in a room and get on the mic with anybody on planet Earth, but I ain't got the mind to understand how to profit. But my big brother Wood, going back to this, told me, he said, Trav, anything will sell, but nothing won't. So I got to keep trying to climb to the other side of the spectrum to understand profit, because all I know ought to be is my soul. And I want somebody to feel this shit way more than they buy this shit. That's why I've been giving this shit away for free for 20 years.
You trying to goddamn get some profit out of that passion, huh?
You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say, when you look at how it worked, it's still some real soulful bad people out here. I listen to Quartet Gospel every day. I think that's the most rawest example of black power that's on planet Earth. I grew up and was cultivated by quartet men that told me, when you talking about the Holy Spirit, I watch them goddamn get drunk and be drunk and put $100 down to say, I bet you we can make a nigga pop before you can. Cut the clock on from the first time my drummer say, boom, boom.
Well, I've learned to leave and land.
And the clock will go before they make the first person blow. So they know that adrenaline, momentum, rhythm, and confidence, when two or more become to breathe together and get locked in the tone, man, that's what soul is about. That's what's real. But when we don't even understand how it works no more, we don't understand how it works no more. See, I used to love to get in a session with up north people who got their rhyme book. And all I had to do was flick that lighter and let my soul go. And they say, how he don't running out? I say, because I ain't worried about what I'm saying. Fuck being lyrical. I just want you to feel me. Once you feel me, I can say any goddamn thing. That's what's real. And that's what's missing. And ain't no excuse. Yeah, we can. That's a formula for the prophet. There's a formula for that. The big wigs, they know the formula. They know Hertz. They know all this. They know how to activate a program mind. It's a formula for profit.
You said it right there. They know exactly how to activate a motherfucking program mind.
It's a formula.
There it is. There it is. You know, man, it's amazing to me. Boy. It's just amazing to me, like when it's all said and done, when you go back to what music used to be for us and how it inspired us and how probably kept a lot of us from killing our goddamn selves back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The things we went through, motherfuckers singing in the fields, you know what I'm saying? And now the very thing that helped us, it's like the thing that's destroying us. Like literally, like the very thing that got us through these years is the very thing that's destroying us. And it's like you said, it's all for profit, but it's like we ingest this shit. We ingest this shit. Like you said, last week, you said some shit that was so amazing to me. Everybody like motherfucking guns, and the government can drop off 50,000 guns in Charlotte, North Carolina, and everybody can have 50 guns apiece, but everybody don't have to shoot up their own goddamn neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit made so much sense, and that's how I look at this music. The white man can pay all he want to for records, but if we decide to sing and rap what we sing about, it's our choice, and them motherfuckers will sell anything.
Look, man, the very same thing that builds us up is destroying us. And I want to say this about truth, knowledge, and understanding. It ain't black. It ain't white. It's universal. If you know how it works, you can work it and make it work for you. If you don't know how it works and someone does, they'll work it on you, and you're vulnerable to the intentions behind them working it. So let's get this out the way. If a white man know how it work, if an Asian man know how it work, if a Mexican man know how it work, if every type of man know how it work and you don't, they all gonna take turns working it on you, and you ain't gonna be the leader of your crew. But if you understand how it work and you work it to protect yourself and those around you, that's power. That's black power. That's simply knowing how to work it for our own good, for our own intentions. If music can destroy us, then why don't we understand the science of it to use it to build us? It built us up before. It brought us through so much more. It held the foundation down the church. If you ain't never went for anything, you waited for the music to touch your soul. So why we don't know how it works no more? Why we don't know how to make hooks that stick in somebody's mind? That every time they in the mirror, they can't get it out their head, and they brushing their teeth, and they saying, I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. Why we can't believe that it's powerful music that we can embed in each other's mind with the right rhythm and the right tempo that would just be voices of nuances that says, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm beautiful. It's just as much as we can put it in a 12-year-old girl mind to say she got a wet ass pussy.
Trav, you know what? This is the thing that's so hard for us.
Damn, y'all.
Trav, this is the thing that's so hard for our generation. That hip hop, it bred so much competition. It bred so much competition at the inception of rap. Rap was I'm this, I'm better than you. I can do this better than you. I can do this better than you. And it wasn't about killing. It was just like, I'm fresher than you. I dress better than you. My style better than you. I can get more girls than you. Blah 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 blah. But over time, it's bred so much competition to where it's one thing to say I'm fresher than you, I'm better than you, I can get more girls than you. Now we're saying I got more money than you. I got more money than your mama ever make. I got your fucking house around my necklace. I'll fuck your bitches. I'll take your hoes. We got more guns than you. We shoot. We kill more than you. So what we have is a situation where we are so engulfed in the competitiveness of it. Right now, hip hop is the only genre of music where they say, "Oh man, you too old to do music. You too old to rap. You too old to sing." Whereas now that we're older, the shit that you were saying, brushing your teeth, we won't allow our own elders to make anything or to support, to be popular. Not only unknown motherfuckers like me and you, the second Jadakiss or somebody try to make a song about some positive, we said, man, this nigga too old to be rapping, man. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so what do we expect to come from it? Like, our elders can't make hip hop. What we don't understand, society and sociologically, hip hop is the first genre of music that frowns upon the wisdom of the elders. Ozzy Osbourne, goddamn them rock boys and them country singers, they can drop tomorrow. Garth Brooks can drop an album tomorrow singing about some country shit. Hell, it ain't all what it used to be, and they can teach through their music. Hip hop, if once you get 35, it's like, oh man, sit your old ass down, man. They ain't talking about nothing. The motherfuckers still rapping, trying to blah 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 blah. So it's like we don't let anything from the elders get on,
because it ain't cool to just be a regular man who's speaking through trauma and
on the
who's been
spectrum.
through everything on the spectrum like everybody else. Because it ain't cool to be that. It ain't cool to be a daddy that got teenage kids, that he fighting every day to be prepared, that his children may be ready to go to school and thrive and strive. And he know he in the bullpen, got a whole nother real stage coming up in life that he really got to prepare for, and think he in position, and he got to marginalize the bullshit like you say, and be real enough to know, baby, we got some shit coming down the pipe. God damn what we got, how we look. We ain't gonna realize that it's cool and it's general to be that, and everybody that on the spectrum. So when we talk on the spectrum, we get criticized for just being regular men. Yeah, don't nobody want to be regular. But here's what's crazy. I done been in a room with them all, and the same shit I talk on this here in real life, I talk it in the room as a regular man on the spectrum, just like everybody else. And I done looked the biggest in the eyes and knew, motherfucker, I'm real as it get. And everybody in my crew is.
Trav, before we get out of here, I want you to break some down for them as it relates to where we are and with this music and these crews and where we are. You got a saying, I can't quite say it, but I want you to break that down as it relates to our discussion tonight. Self-evidence. You got a saying, it says some shit like, the soul can't hide, the actions can't hide what the soul feels or something. What's that saying?
The soul can't
break
keep
that down to this message.
The soul can't keep no secret that behavior won't reveal. Just like that brother said, two guys with trauma. And I ain't saying this to go at him. I'm saying he told the truth. What's the trauma? Man, I got something to prove, man. Man, I done gave my all, man. And people looked at me like they ain't recognize it or didn't realize it. And I'm like, damn, I was there. So I got something to prove, man. Cause we so fucked up. And I'm talking about me too. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. I'm talking about us. Sometimes we look for love in all the wrong places. We don't realize that the truth is now in the moment, now here. It ain't nowhere. So I've been in places where, man, hey, we all we got. We all we need. We all we got. We all we need. I'm right here. You don't need nobody. When I go over there, I'm who they need, but I'm giving you me for free. Man, that shit hurt to my motherfucking soul. So sometimes when I get to behaving and I get drunk and passionate, it's cause, man, in real fucking life, that's some drama that we all deal with. And I ain't ashamed of mine. This how I deal with mine, though. I come on here and I share it to the world. That's why I behave passionately. Because I'm giving something powerful for free. And I know it's motherfuckers make millions that don't give their soul in sincerity. And I give mine for free. That's trauma. That's trauma. Hell yeah. So I behave it, and my soul can't keep that as a secret. And most people know me, try to console me and say, Trav, man, you ain't got to prove yourself to nobody. Man, I know, man, everybody know you real. Man, your message real. Man, your message real. Man, your message real. But I'm a pro-righteous teacher that got to get up to work every day fighting through this here bullshit. And it ain't got easy yet. God damn, it ain't got easy yet. So I'm still trying to prove something around this motherfucker. I don't know what it is, but that's why I behave erratic and passionate. What else the fuck I got to do other than tell the truth? Realer than anybody on planet Earth can tell it. What else I got to do? That's why I behave like that.
Hey, look, man.
People to see.
Hey, look, y'all. Let me before we get out of here. There's a
and I'm just goddamn telling the truth.
There's a skit that they did on Key and Peele where it's this guy named Luther. He like Obama's translator. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's a skit where Obama can't say what he want to say. So Obama might say some shit, and then Obama might say, now look here, Russia. When it comes down to it, we're gonna be diplomatic, but we're not gonna be bullied. And then Luther said, Russia, we gonna kick y'all motherfuckers ass when we get ready. So whether y'all watching the show don't realize it, Trav is like my spirit. He's my spirit talking. I done yelled and screamed and cried so much on this motherfucking internet over the years. I love to just sit here and be like that. I call myself, I'm Howard Cosell now. You know, Howard Cosell. This is Howard Cosell. I'm just chilling. And I let Trav do all the cussing and the yelling, screaming, and preaching for me. That shit be feeling good. Sometimes as he's screaming and preaching and shit, I be trying to still look like, yeah, brother. Sometimes my spirit be like, God damn, nigga, I'm mesmerized. That nigga was singing that song. I said, hey, man, don't look me in the eyes. I feel like Prince or something singing. Captivate me up here, man. I'm strong and I'm lonely. Oh, Lord. I'm like,
hey, let me give a real life example, though, man. I don't know if this is closing, but I gave an example about real estate. And like I say, man, it's rhetoric, it's narratives that always make life seem hard to us. And I try to simplify it, not to tell you, to understand how it works so I can work it. And I simplify what it takes to buy a house. And we talk about affordable housing. And I tell any man, this ain't a black truth. It's just how it works. The most powerful position to be in affordable housing is a homeowner. And they would say, well, man, you can't afford rent. Like you can't afford a mortgage. I say, well, you're paying rent. The same house you live in, it costs $500 less, probably more than that. They doubling whatever you paying, what it's worth. So I'm saying this to say, when I say that from my heart and my soul, not from an opinion, not from something I read, because I've been buying houses and I really understand. And I ain't charging you to be your realtor. I ain't charging you or playing with your ego to make you think I know. I'm telling you from my soul. And I hope I'm telling you in a way to put you in position where can't nobody pimp on you. Because if you hear it in any other way I'm telling you, let it bring up a red flag. Trav told me, Trav gave it to me raw. Why you putting a cut on? But when I get in the same situation, And it's a motherfucker right there who ain't never bought a motherfucking house in his life. And I got to watch the person that I'm pouring my soul out to look me in my eyes and reason with me as if I'm motherfucking lying. I'm on here goddamn bullshitting. And I know why you think he's more goddamn telling you something. Because he using money and he using the objects that trains to activate your mind. But I'm looking at him knowing this motherfucker ain't got shit. But you don't know the truth when you see it, hear it, smell it, feel it. Man, that shit hurt me to my motherfucking soul. I love you.
Hey, it's like the nigga that's out here with shit in his drawers and his old lady knows. Hey, fam, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tomorrow night, check us out. Me and Miss Carla, Random Raven Wednesdays. Check my man Trap Pete Thursday night, 9:30 on Facebook. Hero Training. Man, you a funny motherfucker, man. Y'all be good, fam.
I don't know what kind of show it's gonna be, but I ain't using words no more. I'm coming up with a new format. I don't know what it is. I might do a Peyton Manning and call it at the line. So meet me.
Well, there it is. Y'all be good, family. Peace.